Unit 8, Lesson 2, here we go. So we're looking at the homework, and it's saying on the grid to the right, draw a dot plot to represent the numbers below. So these numbers are not like in numerical order or anything, but I do know my lowest one is 1 and my highest one is 5. So I'm going to draw my line across, and I'm going to label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can go above. That's totally fine. So I also put 0 on there too. So when it comes to the 1, I have 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to draw 3 dots. 1, 2, 3. For our purposes, I'm also going to label on the y-axis. Normally I probably wouldn't, but in this case I will. Now for 2's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. How many 3's are there? Let's see. There's 1, and that's it. There's 1. How many 4's? 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 4's. 1, 2, 3. How many 5's are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 5's. I already know there aren't any 6's or 7's, and that's okay. I can leave them blank. And I'm going to double check how many dots I have just to make sure, okay, I graphed all of these. Sometimes going for, from, a string of numbers to a graph, you might forget one, but I got mine taken care of. So now we're going to draw a histogram. The table below shows the daily sales for a pretzel stand during the first 2 weeks. Group the data and then draw and label a histogram. So remember on a histogram, the left, which is the y side shows frequency. Now, we're not going to go by days. We're going to go by number of days. And the bottom will be our numbers for sales. So that's the X, the number of sales, from this pretzel stand in dollars. And then the Y will be the frequency. So how many days did that happen? So, man, I need to look at this data and I need to group it together. Now, you'll notice when I do this, I actually go back and fix how I wrote this. I know, can you believe it? Miss Bill made a mistake, but that's okay. I'm fixing it right now in the video. So I'm going to start with 900 and go 900 to, now I'm trying to decide if I went 999, I could go 990 and then do 991. I'm going to go back and just make it a flat 1000. I'll go 900 to 1000, and then I'll do 1001, and I'm going to go to 1100, and then I'll do 1101 to 1200, 1201 to, you guessed it, 1300. 1301 to 1400, and 1401 to 1500, because I don't have any numbers over 1500, but I do have some that are between 1401 and 1500. So I have about 20 dots. I have 6 groups of numbers, so they're going to be between 3 and 4 squares apart. So this is going to be 1000 and below. Now I'm noticing that I already can't go back. I'm like, whoa, I can make this even better, because I can say it's equal to or less than 1000. But how many numbers do I have that way? Well, I have my 900s. There's 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. And you'll notice I draw my 3, and that's when I go, wait, I could make this even better. Because I did say my limit is 1000, I can write it as an inequality. So less than or equal to 1000, which also means there's a 1000 up there on day 8. Holy cow, Ms. Billman, you need to add a 4th one. So this will be 1001 to 1100. So how many of those do I have? 1, 2, and there we go. Day 8. What the what? gotta add another one, which is fine. Erasers are there because we make mistakes. And I'm glad I'm doing this in pencil because that'd be really scary if I didn't. So we decided I have two numbers between 1001 and 1100. So how many numbers do I have between 1101 and 1200? Well, let's see. I have 1 and 2. And notice I'm labeling mine with like a 1, 2, or 3. This one has 3. In this case, the 3 is, I could find it on my frequency, so they all go with my third rectangle. And notice that this is different than a normal bar graph. Or a bar graph, you might not have them touching like this. They'd have some space between it. In this case, these in the histogram, they are all kind of mushed together. So my next group, my fourth rectangle, it's 1201 to 1300, and I have 2 of them. It's still putting my label at the bottom, so I know exactly what I'm looking at. If I didn't put a label, it'd be pretty hard to figure out, like, wait, how many is that? So now I have 1301 and 1400. How many do I have there? There's 1, and that's it. So 1. Still labeling this, and it's up to having only 1. So 1301 to 1400. And for my final one, I have 1401. There's my 6 and a 6. And just double checking, I have 2. Again, still labeling. Now I could go through and say, okay, 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11, 12, 13, 14. And that's how many days I should have on the left-hand side of my table, which is correct. Remember that Y is the frequency. I didn't have to write the number of days. I did the number of days, not, well, day 1 it did this, day 2 it did this. I didn't write that. You can do this. Now remember to also label it because you don't want to forget. And there's the sales of pretzels.